Hey, it's Windy Wednesday. I was going to come out here and have a conversation, and it appears that it may be too windy to do that. Now, I checked the wind on the volume. I didn't notice an issue. If you do, I apologize. I'll try to re-record if that's the comments, feedback that I get. So I just going to update you a little bit on the vinegar. It's not quite ready. It wasn't even really bubbly enough for you to be able to see it, I don't think, in a video. So I'm going to add a little bit more sugar today, and then we'll just go forward from there, and I'll show you. But still, everything looks really good. I did go back and put some Ziploc bags with water on the top because there was a little bit of mold that was developing right on the surface, which is not a huge deal, just so you know. So I removed that, and then just weighted it down with a Ziploc bag and some water, which I'll show you when we stir and really get a visual. So I wanted to talk about some world events that are happening and just see how everybody's feeling. If you're feeling the same way that I am, which is not fearful, but definitely a sense of urgency. So a couple of things that we could touch on initially is just general inflation. Like, that is just becoming out of control. Like, I think I heard we were at 9%, which is the highest that we've, I think, ever been. So, and I don't think it's going to stop. I feel like we're going to keep going up. Although our Capitol Corpse was on yesterday saying he was going to fix it. I prefer him not to. That's just my personal preference. I don't want him fixing anything because everything that he's fixed so far has not been a win. So sometimes you should leave the fixing for the professionals, and I don't think this is his area. There's my polite way of saying no, don't do it. If he can, great, but he is yet to prove to me that he's been successful in multiple areas. Again, just my opinion, it doesn't matter. This is not a political post. Please don't get super political in the comments either. It's just not worth it. So my thoughts on this are that we're going to just see continued inflation in our food prices, in our gas, in essentially just everything that we're purchasing at this point. So let's start with chickens. There's I don't know how much conversation y'all hear about this. I don't watch mainstream media, but I do follow a lot of farmers and homesteaders, and I get a lot of information from them, and then I go do my research myself. So I suggest that you do the same. But one thing I wanted to talk about was the chickens. And so in Kentucky and Tennessee right now, they are culling chicken, commercial chicken places because of this avian flu. And when I say culling, that means they're taking them out, done, finished. So if you don't think that's going to cause a shortage, I'm going to need you to rethink that, and really put into your head what you think is happening. And know, be aware of what's happening. So not only did they do that, but they are also going on to private land and having them cull their chickens. And I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't want my birds to have avian flu, but if my birds aren't sick and you're not testing them, you really shouldn't be able to come onto my property and tell me what to do with my chickens. That's just how I feel about that. So, it's not happening currently in Texas. Maybe it's just too flippin' hot here for them. Nonetheless, safety first, but what is that going to cause? It's going to cause a production issue. We've already had several chicken, what I'm going to call chicken catastrophes, because of weather and now the bird flu, and prices are just skyrocketing. And so here's a for instance. I heard through a resource, not a direct person, so let me just be very clear on that, that a butcher had written and was saying that last year at this time, when they would purchase chicken to bring into their shops for butchering, it was about 98 cents a pound. And they're now paying over $2 a pound. That's a pretty exponential increase on the butcher. Who do you think's getting the rest of that cost? That's going to go back to the consumer. So chicken is a problem. It's going to continue to be a problem, I would say, for a few months at least for recovery. And I'm saying this because I just want you to go stock your shelves. Just go put some chicken in your freezer because the prices are going to go higher and higher. So make room in your freezer, put a couple chickens in there, put some chicken breasts, whatever it is. If you don't like chicken, you're good. Don't worry about it. But if you use chicken stock, if you eat eggs, if you do any of those things, those all will be affected by what's going on with this avian flu. Israel is not it's not us, but understand that there's trends that are happening worldwide, and we are going to see it. I mean, we're not immune to what's going on worldwide. So Israel also, speaking of chickens, also has an avian flu problem, and they have called millions of birds. Okay, they are now importing eggs, so that's also going to put a demand on egg supply. They do not like this conversation one little bit. So I just want you to be prepared. I want us to be aware of what's going on, not fearful of what's going on, but problem solving what's going on. So I personally don't have a chicken problem. I don't have an egg problem. I don't have to worry about the cost of eggs. I recommend that you get in touch with someone and build a relationship with someone who is raising chickens, beef, pork, whatever, vegetables, produce, all the things, and try to start a supply chain of your own. Don't rely on the system that's failing. Something is just not right, y'all. Like, we don't need to get into that great discussion, but it's just not right. There are things that are going on that just smell bad. They're just foul. Get it? Just kidding. I know that was lame, but it was funny. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot more to add. If you're interested in how to start your chicken flock, drop me some info. I'll start talking about that. I'll start how I started, which was really just a desire to have chickens. I just wanted chickens. There was no superinflation, hyperinflation, craziness going on in the world. When I started this, I just enjoyed doing the chicken farming, even just on a personal level. For it really just serves my family and our house. So be smart, be thoughtful, be mindful, pay attention, but do your research. Do not take my word for what I'm saying. I am as reliable as the information that I have. So the information that I can give you is how to raise your own flock of chickens. I can do that with you. That's reliable information even from me. So find out what your regulations are in your neighborhoods. If you live in town, if you live in the city, see what you can do. See what's available. A lot of times you can have chickens but no roosters. As you can hear why you wouldn't want roosters in the city. I love being out here early in the morning. And I have two roosters, one in the back here and one in the front, which is now going off. But the neighbors have roosters also, and they're a good distance away, but they really compete with each other in their morning songs. So chickens are fun, chickens are easy, great way to stock meat in your freezer, and have a resource for eggs. They eat pretty mildly, like they're not super expensive to feed. If you start getting an overabundance of eggs, you can sell them off to your family for cheaper than the store for sure. And that will pay for your chicken feed. You can give them chicken scraps. They love, not chicken scraps, kitchen scraps. They'd probably be mad. I don't know, they like their eggs. I crush up eggshells and give them back to them to build their calcium levels. So nonetheless, I hope that you all will engage in this, because I really want to hear where your thoughts are and what you're thinking. And then let's just grow together as far as some independence in our food sources, so that we don't have to rely on someone else to do that for us. And with that, I say have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of the week, and let's get to the weekend quickly. That's all I got.